A person who has the capability to attack, if flags off non-violence, then whole of the world tries to follow them. But if a person does not have the capability to attack and then he talks about non-violence, then people calls him coward. Jai Hind, GTO sir, and of course my dear friends. Today I am in front of you to give a lecturette on the topic. Is being non-violent still a good in society? So let's talk about non-violence with its time preferences, the historical part, the present, and the future. If we jump back to the history, we should not go back much back because our history, which we call today's mythology, has talked only about wars. Wars while engaging in non-violence, peace, and engaging in wars while you are engaged in proper planning and being chivalric. This means that even we fought wars like Mahabharata, we are not allowed to uh, use weapons after, or the wars were shut off after the Shankhnad in the evening. So this shows that we had code of conduct. But this doesn't say that we were non-violent, never in the era, because if you go back to the perspective of people, that how our ancestors who came into existence survived, they just survived by eating the animals. So it's a forest, and if you are in forest, you have to eat, and while you what you will eat, because our digestive system is not made as herbivorous animals. We could not digest what we call cellulose, and what all fats that is present, what all proteins, fats, and other vitamins, minerals that are present in a grass. So if someone says that we can also eat grass, that's not a fact. And agriculture and growing fruits, vegetables, this was known to the human being just uh, in the fifth or uh, 5 or 4 centuries back. So what our early ancestors did, they ate uh, what animals for existence, and that is why we exist today. So this means that non-violence is existent only. And what happened when, while we were existent, we understood the practices of agriculture and growing different types of crops, then most of the people in the world abandoned eating non-veg things, or we have taken this eating non-vegetarian to a very small level of eating only 2 to 3 types of food, or some in some countries they have 11 to 12 type of different types of animals to eat. But we have also contracted what we eat. This means we have given our weapons down for some of the animals. But this doesn't mean that human does not have that power to harm them, but this means that we are non-violent towards them, such as dogs, cats, monkeys. We have been non-violent towards them. Yes, in some countries like China's and other countries, that they still eat them, but yes, most of the people in the world have abandoned eating these creatures. This means that we have become non-violent towards them. So what's the present scenario of this world? See, the war in the historical part, which I told you what about, was about existence. And in the cause of existence, people fought between humans and animals. Then what happened, that there was a fight of influence in which there was tribes versus tribes, in which a group of people fought with a group of people. Then it again became the fight of dominance, in which a kingdom fought a kingdom. And today it's the same, a country versus country, a call for dominance, not just existence, but influence. And how today's world is countering that? No one is preaching us non-violence today. What Gandhi and his teachings tell us, that non-violence is what you can uh, spread that guilt to the person who is. Even Nelson Mandela said the same, that freedom cannot be. Uh, if someone is holding your freedom, the person who is holding will face the guilt, and in some day he will get sore by that guilt, and he will bloody melt by that guilt and just free you. But in today's world, it's not about this, because we have seen in present world, we have seen that how Russia has become so violent against Ukraine. If bloody Ukraine will go and say that yes, I am a non-violent country, you can come and capture me, It will bloody, no one will think about it, and we will say that it's the bloody fate of Ukraine to go like that. But what Ukraine is doing, that he's bloody facing Russia with all its might or influence or relations with NATO and other European or American countries. He's fighting with all that might, and he has standed off with more than 1400 days, and it will try to protect it still, till it will die or will become a history. It will never become a history because Ukraine was once a part of Soviet era. It was once a part of Soviet era that got disintegrated and became Ukraine. Once again, it will jump to Russia. Some revolutionary will come to power. Ukraine will to take arms against Russia, and then it will be that American influence. And with that American and European influence, Ukraine will again became a free country, because it's a cycle going on, because no one, a person who has that power to do it, can never sit non-violent. It can, and if the person does not have power to achieve something, it is not said, it is not called non-violent. It is bloody called cowardice. But yes, if we take non-violence in a different violence in a different type of thing, violence toward terrifying a group of people is known as terrorism. And terrorism is of all sorts, in face of Islam, sorry, religion, in face of uh, extremism, in face of any political, gaining any political political points. So extremism, terrorism is all sorts of violence which can be which can be left in the world. And today's world does not need Islamic terrorism or some regional terrorism just because they want to spread and make whole of the world Islamic. That's the historic. That's somewhat these bloody people who are non-educated, uneducated, and they're trying to take off that 1400 years of their bloody fuck off to their in the present situation. But today's world does not need that. So we can leave that type of violence. But what real terms of non-violence is, what we have seen that while India was non, let's come jump to the Indian context. What we have seen, that while India was non-violent against all its neighbor countries, what what came out of it was that in 1962 China took over million square kilometers of land of Jammu and Kashmir, and that region is known as Aksai Chin today. So what India could do that time? Nothing, because India was non-violent, on the walk of non-violence. And what happened led to the death of Mr. Nehru, and the no one talked to it about us. No one spoke in the world. No diplomatic channels or stages talked about Indo-Sino war that happened. So this shows that no one talks about you while you are without power. If you have that, people are talking about Ukraine today because Ukraine have that power. Venezuela couldn't show that power to US, so no one will talk about US in upcoming 3 to 4 days. This shows that power is what is needed today. Because while you are in power, while you have that power to resist, even resist someone more powerful to you, world will talk about you. World will show your condolences to you, even not condolences, and you don't need that condolences if you have that power. But you want that resources, you want that aid, you want that weapons, and that world will give you. No one is facing towards Venezuela just because. Why not? Because it is not showing power to resist. Venezuela is not showing the will to resist against America. If they have tried, then Russia and China and Iran, they are all in the lines to support with weapons, arms, missiles, and whatnot. But they are not doing this. This shows that being no showing will, showing no resistance towards more powerful states, countries, persons to you, then no one will give a shit to you. uh, what I was talking about, Indian context. In the Indian context, we have seen that while India was non-resistant to China, and we were tolerating whatever they talked, and we were talking about them in the United Nations for this for the increase of global South diplomacy and whatnot. But that backfired to us, and that similar situation is not going with China, but with other neighboring countries too. We have given independence to Bangladesh, but with our because of our softer diplomacy, because of our soft diplomacy today in Bangladesh have came into our head and trying to pee. And just because the reason is that we have become softer towards the nations, because we have to remember that while we act as a father to our neighboring countries, we should also be strict like a father. If you are not, then this means that you are no one. And if you are no one, then be no one. Don't give them aids, don't give them supplies, don't give them uh, transport and facilities to flourish their trade and all. This shows that you are a very unapologetic and very what say non-serious country, because you're not serious about your power. If you're not influential in your region na, that South Asian region which in India is, if we are not powerful in that na, then no other country will accept us as Vishwaguru. If we have to become Vishwaguru, then what we have to do is to become influential. What in how we can become influential? We have seen that how China played games. What all games China has played, we can also play that. We are also countries which have high taxpayers and bloody, yes, we have less taxpayers, but we have a budget of high crores. We can invest them, we can bloody throw them into debt traps. Why we can't? We can engage them, we can give them what all. But yes, if you have to, if you will pay them investments, if you give them aids, if you give them money, ambulances, or what all we are giving them, you will have to bloody strong towards them, you have to bloody strict towards them. If you are not, if we are not strict towards these countries, then again the situation will happen and they will bloody backfire us at. And giving independence to them, that Bangladeshis, they're backfiring the same to us. And they are bloody changing their independence books and what all. They are trying to show that there was no India's role. Bloody, if you give that Pakistan a border, if you give that Pakistan an open offer that you bloody go and take Pakistan in bloody 90 days, it will bloody go and capture not 90 hours. It will bloody go and capture Pakistan, and no one will bloody talk about it, because Bangladesh has no power to talk against it, because it's both the based on the fundamentalist Islamic regime. So yes, I'm not talking about that. I was talking about non-violence. So we have covered the Indian context, that how being non-violent while you show that you are powerless, being non-violent while you show you are powerless backfires us at the same velocity of light. But while you show that you are powerful, and then you preach the world non-violence. Mind my words again, while you show the world that you are powerful, and then you preach the world non-violence. Then bloody no other country can have that will to bloody say a single word against you. Because they know that yes, he's God Krishna, he's Lord Krishna, which in one hand they have Sudarshan Chakra, and in the other they are preaching peace. So they know. So even a cow, if you see a holy cow, they are very good in nature, humble in nature, amicable character. But while they see that they are threatened, they first of all they are big in character. They are very big in body. So the first thing is they show that they have shown that they have power and they can act against you. First thing that they show that they have power, but their nature is very soft. Their nature is very good. But while you think that their nature is very good and try to threaten them, the other minute they will come back to you. They will use their sing, and they will use their horns and bloody pierce it in you and bloody torn you away, torn you apart. This shows that even a cow, which is known for its humble nature and sweet character, has that power to protect, not only protect but to govern itself. So while India say, not only in, I'm telling India, in the international stage, if you bar the neighborhood countries which are bloody radicalized, poor countries which are into the debt trap influence of China, if you leave bar that countries, India has come out of that and become one of the influential countries on the global diplomatic stages. And we have tried to register our opinions, and today world is trying to get to know what our opinion is, because we know that India matters. Today the world knows that India matters. And how we have registered it, because we have also tried to get our point, because some say that we are in the Russia Ukraine war, we are on the fence, but no, we are on our side. Sometimes we give aids to Ukraine, sometimes we buy from Russia. This shows that we are on our side, we will help ourselves, because we if Russia wins, they will not give the territory of Ukraine to us, or they will not give the uh, sign or pact or deal with us that go bloody India and take all the minerals from Ukraine. They will not. So this doesn't mean that we will bloody go and uh, be with Russia, that yes, Russia will win. Russia will never happen, because we know that in the war of Russia Ukraine, uh, we know that Ukraine will never win. But why we don't support Ukraine? Because we don't want to lose the friendship with Russia. All the countries, they know that bloody Ukraine will never win. But why are they supporting? Why are they giving funds and these things? Because they want to register their they want to register their influence, their dominance, and their protest towards Russian imperialism, or whatever we say. Russian imperialism is not a word which can be used in 21st century, because while US went to Venezuela and captured Nicolas Maduro, no one called it as imperialism. So why should Russia, who is fighting for its strategic economy, if we watch it from the India's view, it's what we call strategic autonomy. Someday India would also have to try the same with Pakistan or Bangladesh, because how US is trying to get into these countries, we will have to do it the same. So uh, we have and we can also replicate both the examples of Russia or America. We can go bloody capture Asim Munir or whatever chief of army staff or field marshal there will be in Pakistan, or we can bloody go to the Bangladesh and chop off their Rangpur division and bloody make that chicken's neck and elephant's feet and elephant's neck and what all. So this shows that India has that capability. These words are not very calculated words, are not uh, overpowering what India today has. These all are words which are true, and it cannot be denied. If some countries or radical people are try to deny these words, they are very foolish in nature. They are trying to deny the fact. They accept the fact and they are very frightened from that, but they are denying it just for the sake of denying and bloody making their own fool's paradise. And they will go nowhere by this, because why they will go nowhere? Because being in a fool's paradise does not help you in real conditions. You while you on the social media have burst down our 9 to 10 air bases, and that 7-6 Rafale were shot down, or UFOs or Earth or dinosaurs. But you know that that will never help, because while you are thrown into a true war, that that our uh, chief of air staff Amarpreet Singh said, that be let them be in their fool's paradise while they are not prepared for what we have. If they don't accept that what we did to them, they will not get prepared for the next time. If they bloody will accept that, they will learn from it. It might that they this loss backfires them and bloody they prepare for it. So it's better for us that they doesn't prepare and become very unserious. They are being unserious, non-serious is very good for us, because while they are non-serious, we are very developing, and while we develop, they are in their fool's paradise. And when it comes to the day of decision, the day of action, we will show that what we have done in those years while you are in your fool's paradise. Mind my words, these countries will face the major consequences, and not the elites of these countries. Don't think that this Asim Munir, while he will be not, if he will not be captured, he will not face a single consequence, a single piece of consequence. He will bloody just lose some assets that he has in Pakistan, or his position, or his influence. But these people who are bloody radicalized, or bloody in these fool's paradise, or thinking that our Abba and Aka and are doing these things, they will bloody face the fate which these Afghanistan people faced, which the Iranians and Iraqis faced, and all others who bloody blindfoldedly uh, that accepted whatever their regime is doing. So yes, it's a point to be noted with the Pakistani too, that they really have to protest out in the and move on the roads, do rally, do it against the Pakistani or any other regime, your that military regime. Why you have to do this? Because it's your country. If they are ruling it, if they are getting the resources, if they are Punjabi, so that Punjab region is only one who gets that. So if you want to get divided from the country, you are open. Support Balochistan. Balochistan, you bloody get free out. Yes, I support Balochistan. If you get into the war with Pakistan, a good war with Pakistan, but for that you have to make that power. You have to get into that resources. For that you have Afghanistan, which have that air force, US resources. You have to bloody go and fetch that and take the help of Afghanistan. Bloody India will come with the resources, the aids, that investments and whatnot, and buddy help you to get free from Pakistan. Second, Sindhi people, what you are doing? The thing is that you are not being vocal. Sindh was one of the most prominent Hindu region, and one of the most of was one of the most richest regions in the that Indian subcontinent, that Pakistan region, and was one of the most influential and affluent region. But today, what happened? They have no influence because of the Punjabis, and buddy, you are the highest number of gays there. So this shows that you have lost your power. Why you have lost your power? Because of that because of your that attitude of non-culturalism, and you have lost your history, you have lost your culture, and today you are facing, and buddy, in tomorrow your name Sindh will also be not present. It will be something like Sarai and all, that Islamic name. This shows that while history proceeds, while history drives away, and the time flies, you'll have to work on your power, your influence, and your dominance. Because while you are not working and being in a fool's paradise, your enemy is working on it. While India was in a fool's paradise, you remember the 1960s, 70s era, while we were in a fool's paradise, that yeah, yes, we are a very amicable character. Why will some Gandhi's country? Why will someone bloody fire a bullet towards us? And we have seen that what happened in China war, that Indo-Sino war, whatever we call it, and we lost the territory, and even after these many years, we are not able to get it back. This shows that negligence and tolerance could never help us and will never help us. But we have learned many things from it. Indira Gandhi, the then president, prime minister, learned from it, tried to do the nuclear test while the pressures and sanctions were on. India couldn't achieve it. Then Atal Bihari Vajpayee in 1998 with mm, with Mr. APJ Abdul Kalam succeeded in testing the nuclear bombs, and India became a nuclear country. And today no one can threaten India because we know that we have that nuclear capability. Yes, while Pakistan was getting armed with nuclear bomb, India should have must have tried would have if we would have tried with all our power that to stop them, because Israelis, in some papers I've read that Israelis also tried to support Indians so that uh, Pakistan could not make that bombs, but India didn't. India still ignored that. That's character is not good, because while you are in the fool's paradise, someone other is sharpening their knives. We have to be that Shatru Bodh is very important thing, because if we let them sharpen their knives, they will never show their knives just for us to improve our dress. It means कि वो चाकू अपना तेज गेंद इसलिए नहीं कर रहे कि तुम अपना चेहरा देख पाओ उसके अंदर. They are bloody sharpening it to stab it into your chest or your back. Yes. So with these words, I think that you have understood that what non-violence means today in today's world. In my concluding part, I just want to say that non-violence is a word of power which can only be used by powerfuls. If you are powerless and you are trying to preach peace to world, you're bloody no one. You have no right to preach the world, and you have bloody no influence to preach the world peace. But you have nuclear bombs, you have hydrogen bombs, and whatnot. And then you come up with a banner of peace and non-violence. You bloody will be known in the world, admired in the world, and these bloody non-powerfuls bloody make you as the leader. And if you have to become the leader, increase the influence, increase research and development, much needed, increase technology, increase power, become powerful, become successful, and then preach non-violence and peace. That's all. That was all. That was all from my side. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.